Good morning, merry sunshine. You chase the night away. Good morning, happy children. Now work and sing and play. Today is finally the big event of the world premiere, The Princess Mermaid, a story that was created specially for the children living by the bay. This is what the story says. Goodbye. Been looking for years for a story about sea creatures and the mermaid. But I couldn't find an appropriate story, because usually it ends with the mermaid dying, or she drowns the prince that jumps into the water because he spies the mermaid who sings so beautifully, who is so beautifully. And that was not my purpose. It just needed to address the sea creatures, but there needed to be a little what do you call it, little twist. And the twist came with the octopus. And as we know, the octopuses are quite ferocious sea creatures, and you do have to go to the Monterey Aquarium and see all the sea creatures. And I have been there several times with Heather in order to get inspired by this huge octopus. And that leads us back again to the symbols in the fairy tales. The octopus did something that was not very nice. He stole the Princess Mermaid. And he stole her because she was singing so beautifully.
There is a therapeutic quality to the story itself also, and that's something I've been working with the octopus, about his personal transformation, the spell that's cast on him by the princess.
In spite of a difficulty, and that the difficulty was, well, the princess was stolen, there is redemption, that there is always a way to a positive outcome according to one's inner attitude towards the task, the deed that was accomplished. My advice has always been, even for the fairy tale marionettes, to really observe the creatures that one incarnates, that one guides, and also to slip into a crab, to slip into the being of a turtle, to slip into the being of a seahorse, like you would try to become a king or a princess or a miller, because this is the essence of puppetry, that the puppeteer really becomes one with the character. We have become quite familiar with moving the fairy tale marionette performances. We have done it so many times. And there is a danger that when one does one thing all over and over and over again, that it becomes routine. But the marionettes and the puppets that one moves need to be created anew every time one uses them. Because what needs to be created anew, it's the inner connection, the inner, what I always call the soul connection to the character. We are at a point, at a crossroads, where we needed a new challenge, never done before, in order to move forward in our art of performing.
When I am in my 70s, I would love to be like her and be a person who says, okay, what I was doing last year might not be meeting the children this year. What can we do together?
Mm-hmm. All the characters in the presentations can be seen as outward characters, but they can also be seen as interior characters, part of a human being.
We all have something of a king. We all have something of a beautiful, delicate princess. But we have the darker sides, which we try to hide. We are jealous, we are mean, we lie. All these are the inner qualities of these puppets that are made visible.
There's so much care involved, and every little detail here has such a purpose, and that's how she is in her class and with others. So it's really reflected, I think, through this puppet show.
I felt living in San Francisco, where we live close to the ocean, where the children go regularly to the beach and play at the beach, where they see and talk about their experience with the dolphins, with the seals, with the crabs, with the turtle, and of course the jellyfish and the starfish. All the sea creatures are familiar to them, and I thought I really would like to honor the San Francisco children.
She knows how to give you that little bit more. You never sit back. I always feel like I'm at the edge of my seat when I'm with her, wherever we're going, whatever we're doing, even if it's just for fun.
The non-familiar thing was that these were not people, but creatures, and that they move in water. And that was a huge challenge for the puppeteers. But my colleagues enjoyed trying to create an underwater ground, the bottom of the sea.
The thing that is always present is this amazing consciousness of the experience of the young child and of creating a whole world where there's no gaps, there's no jarring transitions between that world and this world, because in fact she is creating a picture of the world that they really live in.
Nowadays children have changed so much. For some it is difficult to picture what they hear. So the marionette performances are, I find, a perfect tool, because the tale is made visible. For the children, they know that we are the teachers who guide the puppets. However, they are put into such a world of wonder that the puppet or the marionette and the puppeteer is like one for them. They don't separate. And they might say the following week, I saw you, but they can never make in a concrete, physical, harsh way, oh, you were the one and you were the one. The puppeteer and the puppet are like one.
She holds very high standards, but she holds them to herself as well as everybody else. And but it's always done with such joy and love, and it's just the best to work with, because it just refreshes you and is nourishing to everybody around, not only the children but everyone who works in that world.
The marionettes are really helping, I would say, all the children to put them back into the world of dreams and wonder, and yes, being just in awe to see what is happening in front of them. I think when you see a marionette play, marionette performance, you relive the fairy tale, a fairy tale that you have heard or you've never heard, but you live it, but in a more visual way, more concrete way, which touches you profoundly, because it's actually what you see in front of you, it's yourself.